Do you have a daily vitamin habit to protect your health, especially to keep your legs strong and flexible? But do you know that those very vitamins can sometimes silently harm your own legs? Imagine you're enjoying breakfast with a glass of milk and a vitamin pill, unaware that taking certain vitamins in overdose can cause your legs to go numb, weaken, even lose balance, and make you prone to falls. Do you think vitamins are only beneficial? That's not always true. Some vitamins, if not used correctly, can silently destroy the health of your legs, something few people know about. Don't take your eyes off this video because the last vitamin will definitely make you think twice. Welcome to our channel, where we accompany you on your journey to live a healthy, independent life and fully enjoy your golden years. Here you'll find easy to understand health knowledge and simple yet effective habits to protect your health, especially your precious legs, the foundation for your freedom and daily movement. If you care about your own health or that of your loved ones, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next helpful videos. Together, we'll build a healthy and happy life every day. So, which of your familiar friends among vitamins can silently have a negative effect on your legs? You might be surprised to learn that some vitamins, which are considered good and even often recommended, can cause unwanted side effects if not used correctly. We'll go into detail about each type, starting with vitamin B6, a common vitamin that, if overdosed, can have serious consequences for your legs, especially in older adults. Don't worry, I'll clearly explain how vitamin B6 affects the nervous and motor systems, the warning signs you should recognize, along with simple advice to help you safely protect your leg health. Let's get started. Did you know that vitamin B6, a very common vitamin often recommended for nerve health, can become a dangerous enemy to your legs if used in overdose? Sounds contradictory, right? But in reality, this is one of those cases where too much is definitely not good. It can even cause serious damage. Vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine, is a water-soluble vitamin crucial for nerve function, protein synthesis, carbohydrate metabolism, and hemoglobin production in the blood. Many people supplement with B6 to improve their nervous system, reduce fatigue, or support overall health. But what few people know is that if you take high doses of vitamin B6 for an extended period, it can cause peripheral nerve damage, meaning the nerves outside the brain and spinal cord, especially in the legs and arms. The FDA, US Food and Drug Administration, has warned that long-term use of high doses of vitamin B6 exceeding 100 milligrams per day can lead to neurotoxicity. This occurs because too much pyridoxine accumulates in the body, harming nerve cells. Specifically, the peripheral nerves in your legs are the nerves that help you feel sensations, maintain balance, and control muscle movement. When these nerves are damaged, you'll start to notice numbness, tingling, muscle weakness, or loss of sensation. Early signs of neuropathy, peripheral neuropathy. The danger is that this damage can progress silently and become permanent if not detected in time and if the vitamin overdose is not stopped immediately. Imagine you start to feel your feet tingling as if ants are crawling on them, or a sensation like you're wearing tight socks, even when you're not. You might also experience leg muscle weakness, difficulty walking, loss of balance, or even become prone to falls. Some older adults often mistake these signs for normal aging or other conditions like diabetes. But if you are taking medication or high-dose vitamin B6 supplements, these could be important warning signs. A study published in the journal Neurology in 2005 clearly indicated that patients using high-dose vitamin B6 for extended periods developed typical neuropathy symptoms, and while some improved upon cessation, not all fully recovered. The American Academy of Neurology also recommends a maximum daily dose of approximately 100 milligrams per day of vitamin B6 to avoid the risk of neurotoxicity. Now that we understand the potential harm of excessive vitamin B6, the important thing isn't to completely avoid this vitamin, but to know how to use the correct dosage and choose appropriate sources to safely maintain nerve and leg muscle health. First, you need to know that the daily recommended intake of vitamin B6 for adults is about 1.3 to 2 milligrams, depending on age and gender, according to guidelines from the U.S. National Institutes of Health (NIH). This amount is very low compared to the supplemental doses that can cause toxicity if misused. This means that most older adults can get enough vitamin B6 through their daily diet without needing high-dose supplements. Secondly, prioritizing vitamin B6 intake from natural foods is a safe and effective approach. Vitamin B6 is found in many common foods such as poultry, chicken, duck, salmon, tuna, potatoes, various root vegetables, bananas, and legumes like lentils, mung beans, and peas. These foods not only provide B6 but also support overall health, especially for muscles and nerves. When using B6 supplements, be cautious. Pills often contain doses many times higher than the daily requirement, which can easily cause harm if used incorrectly. It's best to consult your doctor or a nutritionist, especially if you have a neurological condition, diabetes, or are taking other medications. If supplementation is necessary, choose a low-dose pill under 50 milligrams and strictly follow the instructions. Avoid self-administering high doses for prolonged periods, as the risk of irreversible nerve damage is significant. Additionally, monitoring your health and recognizing early warning signs in your legs is crucial. Numbness, tingling, a crawling sensation under the skin, muscle weakness, difficulty walking or balancing, or unexplained pain. If you experience these symptoms, you should see a doctor and clearly disclose any vitamin or medication use for a thorough examination. Early detection helps minimize damage and increases the chance of recovery. Besides controlling your vitamin B6 intake, you should also maintain healthy lifestyle habits. Engage in gentle exercise like walking, ankle pump exercises, or yoga to stimulate blood circulation and protect nerves. Supplement with other B vitamins like B1, B12, and folate through whole grains, green vegetables, eggs, and fish. Drink enough water, maintain a healthy weight, and effectively manage chronic conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure to limit nerve damage. Finally, if you need to take vitamin B6 as medically prescribed due to a deficiency, follow your doctor's instructions and get regular checkups. Don't hesitate to share any unusual symptoms you experience while taking it so your doctor can make timely adjustments, ensuring your safety and health effectiveness. After understanding vitamin B6 and the risks of nerve damage that directly affect leg movement, you might realize that vitamin supplementation isn't as simple as you thought. Taking more isn't always better. In fact, overdosing can backfire and even severely impact the health of our legs. And vitamin B6 isn't the only type that causes unexpected harm. Next, we'll explore vitamin A, a common vitamin that you might think is only good for your eyes and skin, but actually, prolonged overdose can silently destroy your leg health in ways few people would expect. Vitamin A belongs to the group of fat-soluble vitamins that help the body metabolize, support vision, boost immunity, and maintain healthy skin and mucous membranes. There are two main forms of vitamin A, provitamin A, beta-carotene, found in plants, and active vitamin A, retinol, found in animal-sourced foods like liver, eggs, and milk. For older adults, adequate vitamin A supplementation helps improve eye health, reduces the risk of infection, and supports the immune system, which naturally weakens with age. Therefore, the important role of vitamin A cannot be denied. So why can vitamin A become a silent enemy that harms your legs? The key lies in your daily intake. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, the recommended daily allowance for adults is about 2,300 IU, 700 micrograms for women, and 3,000 IU, 900 micrograms for men. However, if you consume more than 10,000 IU per day for a prolonged period, vitamin A will accumulate in your body and lead to an overdose, also known as hypervitaminosis A. One of the most serious consequences of excess vitamin A is its negative impact on bones. Studies from the National Osteoporosis Foundation and leading medical journals like The Lancet have warned that excessive vitamin A can reduce bone density, making bones weaker and more brittle. This particularly affects crucial bones in the legs, such as the thigh bones and shin bones, significantly increasing the risk of osteoporosis and worrying fractures. So what mechanism causes vitamin A to damage leg bones? When vitamin A exceeds the necessary level, It imbalances the bone formation and bone resorption processes in the body. When bone resorption is stronger than bone formation, bone density decreases, making bones fragile and more prone to fractures. At the same time, excess vitamin A also affects bone-forming cells, making bones more vulnerable to external forces. This is a major danger for older adults, a group whose bone density naturally declines with age. When the effects of excess vitamin A combine with the aging process, the risk of leg fractures due to falls increases significantly. Fractures not only cause pain, but also lead to loss of mobility, reduced quality of life, and can even result in serious complications like disability or prolonged hospitalization. In addition to its effects on bones, vitamin A overdose can also cause concerning neurological symptoms such as headaches, dizziness, nausea, and peripheral neurological disorders. These symptoms contribute to a loss of balance when moving, thereby increasing the risk of falls and leg injuries. If you notice signs such as bone pain, leg weakness, numbness, or difficulty maintaining balance, especially when you are supplementing with vitamin A or regularly consuming vitamin A-rich foods, be alert and consult a doctor immediately. Scientific evidence also reinforces these warnings. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, analyzing data from over 25,000 older adults, showed that high levels of vitamin A in the blood were closely linked to low bone density and an almost 1.5 times increased risk of hip fractures. The World Health Organization, WHO, has also recommended that prolonged supplementation of vitamin A beyond the recommended dose increases the risk of osteoporosis and fractures, especially in older adults and postmenopausal women. In summary, vitamin A is not an enemy when used in the correct dose, but if overused, it can silently weaken your legs. So, how can you effectively prevent the harmful effects of vitamin A? First, you need to control your vitamin A intake. Instead of overdoing supplements or vitamin products containing high doses of vitamin A, prioritize getting your vitamin A from a diverse and balanced diet. Remember to read product labels carefully and absolutely do not exceed the recommended dose of vitamin A from your doctor. Next, you should prioritize beta-carotene-rich food sources over direct retinol. Beta-carotene is abundant in vegetables like carrots, pumpkins, sweet potatoes, and more. This is a precursor to vitamin A. Your body will automatically convert it as needed, so there's almost no risk of overdose. This is a safe, healthy, and sustainable source of vitamin A for your long-term health. Don't forget to get regular health checkups, especially if you're taking vitamin A supplements or other dietary supplements. Monitoring your blood vitamin A levels and bone density will help detect early signs of abnormalities, avoiding unwanted risks. Additionally, make sure to supplement with enough bone-supporting nutrients like calcium, vitamin D, and other important minerals such as magnesium. Focusing solely on vitamin A while neglecting these essential factors will reduce the effectiveness of protecting and maintaining healthy bone density, especially in your leg bones. Regular exercise also plays a significant role. Exercises that strengthen muscles and improve balance will help increase bone density, reduce the risk of falls, and keep your legs strong and flexible. When considering vitamin A supplementation, choose wisely. Prioritize orange and dark green vegetables like carrots, pumpkins, spinach, and kale, as they contain plenty of safe beta-carotene and are very good for your health. Animal products like liver should be consumed in moderation, avoiding overuse as they contain high levels of retinol, which can be harmful. If you need to take a multivitamin, choose a product with appropriate vitamin A content and use it under the guidance of a doctor. Remember, more vitamin A isn't always better. Balance and moderation are key to keeping your legs healthy, moving flexibly, and avoiding the worrying risk of fractures. While vitamin A plays an important role, overdosing on it carries concerning risks for your legs, especially by weakening bones and increasing fracture risk. So, besides vitamin A, are there other vitamins we commonly use, thinking they're beneficial, that can actually harm our leg health? Let's continue to explore vitamin E. a common vitamin known for its antioxidant and cardiovascular protective properties, but when used improperly, it can also lead to unexpected issues related to your leg circulation and mobility. Vitamin E is known as a powerful antioxidant helping to protect cells from damage caused by free radicals, supporting cardiovascular health and promoting healthy skin. Therefore, many of us often supplement with vitamin E through dietary supplements or vegetable oil capsules with the aim of improving overall health. However, few realize that excessive vitamin E use, especially at high and prolonged levels, can lead to unwanted effects, particularly impacting mobility and leg health. So, how does vitamin E affect our legs? When you supplement with very high doses of vitamin E, typically over 1,000 milligrams per day, about 1,500 international units, the main risk is blood thinning. Vitamin E has properties that reduce platelet aggregation and prolong blood clotting time, which can make you prone to bruising, bleeding under the skin, or minor injuries that don't heal quickly. This is especially true for older adults, where this impaired clotting ability not only causes bruises but also increases the risk of severe bleeding from falls, a major cause of serious leg injuries. How can you imagine this? Suppose an elderly man or woman in their 70s is taking high doses of vitamin E daily, hoping to improve skin and heart health. If they unfortunately fall or have a minor bump, the bruise could spread widely, and even internal bleeding in deep tissues might occur without immediate detection. Along with that comes pain, swelling, and limited leg movement, increasing the risk of prolonged rest and loss of balance in daily life. A comprehensive study from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, also warns about the risk of excessive bleeding when taking high-dose vitamin E, especially in people concurrently using anticoagulants like warfarin or aspirin. This can increase the risk of falls and serious injuries in older adults, whose recovery ability is already diminished. Furthermore, some medical reports indicate that vitamin E overdose can also cause fatigue, muscle weakness, and even worsen peripheral neuropathy. This further weakens the legs, making it harder to move and maintain balance. So the question is, how can you reap the benefits of vitamin E without experiencing these harmful effects? First, vitamin E supplementation should follow recommended dosages. According to the National Institute of Nutrition, US, the recommended daily intake of vitamin E for adults is about 15 milligrams, 22.4 international units. Supplementing beyond this dose, especially over 1,000 milligrams per day, should only be done under a doctor's guidance and for a very short period if necessary. Second, you should prioritize getting vitamin E through natural foods instead of high-dose pills. Foods rich in vitamin E like almonds, sunflower seeds, olive oil, spinach, avocados, and various nuts not only provide safe vitamin E, but also come with many other antioxidants and nutrients that enhance overall health for your legs and body. Third, if you are taking anticoagulants or have a blood disorder, do not take additional vitamin E without consulting your doctor, as the combination can increase the risk of hemorrhage, severely affecting the health of your legs and entire body. Finally, regular exercise and maintaining a healthy weight are also crucial ways to maintain leg health, reduce the risk of falls and injuries. When you exercise, good blood circulation helps the muscles, bones, and tissues in your legs stay strong, and also supports faster recovery if there's any injury. In summary, vitamin E plays an important role in health protection, but overdosing can thin the blood, increasing the risk of bruising and bleeding in the legs, affecting mobility and balance. Supplementation should be based on recommended doses, prioritizing natural food sources, and combined with a healthy lifestyle to keep your legs strong and flexible. In the next section, we'll reveal a familiar character you might not have thought much about, vitamin D, dubbed the close friend of bones and joints. But there's a surprising truth. Vitamin D isn't always purely beneficial. When taken in overdose, this seemingly good vitamin can actually pose risks that make your legs weaker. Are you curious to know the secret behind vitamin D? Let's explore it now. Vitamin D is one of the essential vitamins your body needs to maintain bone and muscle health, especially important for older adults. We commonly know that vitamin D helps the body absorb calcium better, thereby strengthening bones and reducing the risk of osteoporosis and fractures, which are common issues in older adults. Therefore, many people have the habit of regularly supplementing with vitamin D in the form of dietary supplements or getting a lot of sun exposure to boost vitamin D. However, improper vitamin D supplementation, especially long-term overdose, can lead to negative health effects, including on your legs. So how can vitamin D overdose harm your legs? First, it's important to understand that excessive vitamin D supplementation leads to a condition called hypercalcemia, which is an increase in calcium in the blood. When blood calcium levels are too high, your muscles and nervous system will be affected, causing symptoms like muscle pain, muscle weakness, fatigue, loss of balance, and sometimes mild spasms. This can impair your leg's ability to move and maintain balance, increasing the risk of falls and injuries. Several medical studies from the U.S. National Institutes of Health, NIH, and specialized nutrition organizations have indicated that taking high doses of vitamin D, thousands of international units, IU, per day for extended periods can cause this side effect. Some cases have reported that individuals taking high-dose vitamin D experienced peripheral neurological symptoms, adversely affecting sensation and movement in the lower limbs. Furthermore, hypercalcemia can also make bones more brittle because the body tries to regulate excessively high calcium levels, leading to degeneration and weakening of the musculoskeletal system, especially in the legs, the area that bears the most body weight. This increases the risk of fractures from falls or minor impacts. How can you visualize this? Imagine an elderly woman who diligently takes high doses of vitamin D every day without medical supervision. Gradually, she starts to feel weakness in her limbs, difficulty walking, easily loses balance, and experiences uncomfortable muscle pain. These signs might be mistaken for normal aging or common bone and joint conditions, but the actual cause could be vitamin D overdose. So how can you leverage the benefits of vitamin D without experiencing these harmful effects? First, vitamin D supplementation should be based on blood tests to determine the level of deficiency. Then the appropriate dose prescribed by a doctor should be used. Common doses for older adults are usually 600 to 800 IU per day, and you should not increase the dose on your own without medical guidance. Second, in addition to vitamin D supplementation, pay attention to adequate sun exposure, about 10 to 15 minutes daily, for your body to naturally and safely produce vitamin D. Third, combine your diet with calcium-rich natural foods like milk, green vegetables, salmon, sardines, etc. This will help balance vitamin D and calcium levels, strengthening bones without causing hypercalcemia. Fourth, get regular health checkups, especially when supplementing with vitamin D long-term or in high doses to avoid the risk of hypercalcemia and unwanted side effects. Finally, maintain gentle, age-appropriate exercise habits like walking, yoga, or balance exercises, which help keep leg muscles and bones strong and reduce the risk of falls. We've just explored 4 common vitamins that can adversely affect your legs if used incorrectly: vitamin B6, vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin D. Each of these vitamins plays an important role in the body, but when supplemented in overdose or inappropriately, they can lead to serious problems such as nerve damage, osteoporosis, increased bleeding risk, or muscle weakness, all directly impacting the health and mobility of your legs. Excessive vitamin B6 can lead to long-term peripheral nerve damage, causing numbness, muscle weakness, loss of balance, and increased fall risk. Excessive vitamin A can reduce bone density, making leg bones brittle and prone to fractures. High-dose vitamin E thins the blood, increasing the risk of bruising and bleeding from impacts, thereby making you more susceptible to leg injuries during activity. Vitamin D, while essential for bones and muscles, in overdose can cause hypercalcemia, leading to muscle pain and weakness and loss of balance, impairing your ability to walk. The important thing is not to worry or completely avoid these vitamins, but to know how to use them correctly, scientifically, and appropriately. Always consult your doctor before starting or increasing your vitamin dosage. Don't self-prescribe high doses or supplement uncontrollably. Incorporate a balanced diet, rich in natural nutrients to safely obtain vitamins. Take advantage of appropriate sunlight exposure to synthesize natural vitamin D. Maintain gentle, regular exercise habits to keep your legs and muscles strong and flexible. Get regular health checkups to detect early signs of abnormalities. Finally, remember that the health of your legs isn't solely dependent on vitamin supplementation, but also on a combination of a healthy lifestyle, balanced nutrition, and proper care. You can absolutely keep your legs strong and steady to enjoy an active, independent, and joyful old age. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe for more valuable health insights to take care of yourself every day. And don't forget to share so your loved ones can also learn how to protect their legs, the foundation for a life of free, energetic movement. Thank you for joining us, where we share healthcare knowledge in a gentle, approachable, and practical way.